Being a caregiver for someone you love, it's one of the most important jobs in the world. It's a huge act of love, but it's also a massive responsibility. And let's be real, when you're busy taking care of someone else, it's so easy to let your own financial future just slide. So today, we're going to bring that right back to the front and talk about it.
So if this is you, I bet this question has popped into your head probably late at night when everything's quiet. You're giving so much of yourself right now, but what does that mean for your retirement down the road? It's a really important question, and we're going to walk through exactly how you can protect yourself.
Okay, first things first. To figure out how to protect your Social Security benefits, you've got to understand how they're built in the first place. It's not some big complicated secret, it's just a formula. And once you get how the formula works, you can start making it work for you.
And here it is. This is the heart of it all. The Social Security Administration takes a look at your entire work life, they adjust all your past earnings for inflation, and then they pick out the 35 years where you earned the most money. They average those years to figure out what your benefit will be. The key phrase to remember here is your highest 35 years.
This number, it is absolutely everything. 35. So why is it such a big deal? Well, because if you have fewer than 35 years of earnings on your record, the government doesn't just average what you have. Nope, they fill in the blanks with a zero. And you can imagine what even a few zeros can do to your lifetime average. They can really drag it down.
You can really see the two different paths here. On one side, you have a steady career that builds up a nice, solid average for retirement. But for caregivers, that path on the right is a real possibility. Every year you're out of the paid workforce could become a zero-income year in that calculation. That zero could end up replacing a year where you had good earnings, and that's what can lower your final benefit check.
Okay, now, before you start to panic, let's get some perspective here. As certified financial planner Zigmont says, taking a short break isn't necessarily a financial disaster. Think about it. If you've worked for, say, 40 years and had some really high-earning years, a couple of years with low or zero income might not even make the cut for your top 35. So the goal here is to be aware of how this works, not afraid.
So now that you know the risk, what can you actually do about it? Well, it's time to open up the toolkit. And the good news is you might have access to benefits that you've already earned or that you're entitled to through your family. This is all about using every tool you have. So even if your own earnings record has some gaps from caregiving, your spouse's work record can be a total lifeline. You might be able to claim a benefit worth up to half of their full retirement amount. For widows or widowers, it could be up to 100%. And you really want to pay attention to this last one. If you're home caring for your child who is under 16 or has a disability, you might be able to get those spousal benefits way earlier than you'd normally qualify.
All right, using a spouse's record is a fantastic safety net. But what if you want to boost your own benefit? Let's talk about some proactive moves, things you can do right now to pump up your future payments and help make up for those caregiving years. I'm not exaggerating when I say this might be one of the biggest, most powerful financial decisions you can make for your retirement. It's simple. Patience really, really pays off. If you can afford to wait to claim your Social Security benefits, you can lock in a higher monthly payment for the rest of your life.
Just look at these numbers. For a lot of us, full retirement age is 67. If you claim right then, you get 100% of the benefit you've earned. But for every single year you hold off after that, up until age 70, your benefit permanently grows by about 8%. So if you wait until you're 70, you're looking at a check that is 24% bigger. That can make a huge difference, especially if you're trying to offset some of those lower earning years.
Now, if you're still working, even if it's just part-time while you're caregiving, don't sleep on these workplace benefits. Put what you can into a 401k, and please, if your company offers a match, contribute at least enough to get the whole thing. If you don't, you are literally walking away from free money. And an HSA is another awesome tool that lets you save for healthcare expenses with some major tax advantages.
Okay, we've talked about the formula, the tools you can use, and the ways to boost your payments. Now for the last and maybe most important step, making sure the government's information about you is actually correct. Think of this as your annual financial checkup.
This is so important to get. You know that Social Security statement you see online? It's not just some guess or a projection of what you might get. It is the official, year-by-year record of your earnings, the exact numbers they're using for that 35-year calculation. So if that record is wrong, your benefit is going to be wrong. Simple as that.
So here's your homework. It's super straightforward. Go to ssa.gov and set up your My Social Security account. It's totally free and secure. Then, once a year, just log in and take a look at your earnings history. Does everything look right? Is that job from 5 years ago on there? If you see something that's missing or just plain wrong, you need to report it to them. You worked for that money, make sure you get the credit for it.
Look, you spend so much of your energy and your heart caring for the people you love. Now it's time to turn just a little bit of that powerful care and attention back on yourself and on your own financial security. By understanding how this all works and taking these small, proactive steps, you can make sure that your future is just as secure as you've made everyone else feel.